Scamazon podcast. You know what's up. We always come here for this. I got my boy DeAndre tapped in with me. And DeAndre is one of my homeboys who actually I originally met at the first Amazon I worked at. I worked at Jax 2 with DeAndre. I worked at that Jax 2 with DeAndre. No, it was great. It was one of the first ones we worked at. It was a new building in Amazon. And what are some of you go ahead and introduce yourself and stuff right quick.
All right, man. Like the first time actually working there is like starting off. You think things are gonna be great. It seemed like it's gonna be like kind of like a new frontier or something like that. It's just like something to look forward to. And then within the first month of you working there, it's just no, everything just turns sideways. You have like it's either you're being overworked to the point to where you're exhausted, or you're being rushed to fill a quota or meet this number. And it's I want to say it's just like after that first month, it's just everything just goes left.
So, what another thing that's a really big theme at Amazon that's crazy and it's unfortunate for people, and people don't realize this, but it's a revolving door. Like people work there, get fired, quit, come back, and it's constant. It's because they are like a very large employer. But like recently, something like that similar happened to you, right? Because I mean, we originally started there probably about 5 years ago, 6 years ago, and I've been knowing you for a long time. But what you said, you're back over there now, or no?
Oh no, dude. Well, I'm at a different facility out in Atlanta now, but the one in Jax 2, I've been fired from that thing 3 times, and I've worked.
Oh, so you worked there 3 times?
3 times, yeah.
That's crazy. So, like, oh
Most
yeah. So
people get fired.
I remember telling you specifically. I remember telling you like, "Yo, DeAndre, you're supposed to get shares. You should get at least 2 or 3 shares, and they're gonna be worth some money later, and you should get them." Guess what happened? The shares split, and they got like a stock share split from like, for every 1 share you had, you got 20 shares. And now the shares are back up to like 120, but they're not like 1,500 anymore. You get what I'm saying?
See, I don't know anything about the shares that I bought from when I even first originally started working there, and they were taking like $100 out of my check. I don't know what.
Well, so the way it works is like a gift, right? And you do have to pay taxes on it, but like they have all these specific standards that you have to meet in order to get it. So like they're like, oh, first you have to work here for a year, and then after you work here for a year, you have to wait for the share to vest. Now that it's vested, it's actually yours, and then it's just like all this like yellow tape you have to cut through kind of stuff. Like they're just trying to like space out the time. But yeah, so like people like me and you should actually have those shares. Like I have a couple of shares of Amazon stock, so I can like speak at shareholders meetings and try to get better working conditions. But yeah, so I mean, like he was saying, he's back over there at Amazon, a different Amazon, but he's been fired from that same one about 3 times.
Yeah,
it was like he kept going back. Like where else are you gonna work with hours?
Right. Because like in the area where I live, it's mostly just like small fast food jobs that are mainly looking for like high schoolers who aren't trying to get paid.
Like food deserts. There's barely any like real like just all these restaurants like Arby's, Burger King, Little Caesars, and it's like, yep, you can survive on that stuff too, but like you're gonna be, and the way it works with a lot of people who work at Amazon is 3 things they're trying to pay: their rent or mortgage, their car note or insurance, and phone bills, just keeping stuff like that on there. That's before you even have any kids. It's not meant to support children. Everyone's always saying that, but it can at least be helpful because.
And most people I know who work at Amazon typically have to like have like a side hustle or something else going on just to make sure that they can live comfortably.
That's a main theme. That's what a lot of other people are reporters. I talk to a lot of reporters, and that's what their main thing is. They're like, so you're telling me people are working 30, 40, 50 hours at Amazon and still finding another side job just because it's not enough money. And it's not all Amazon's fault. We're not going to just sit here and be Amazon haters, but it's like the management, and also the inflation in real world, in real life. Like everything's expensive, bro. If you go to a store and like try to buy a meal, you remember if you spent $10, $12 at Burger King or McDonald's, you're getting 2 meals. Now it's like $10 for a meal, bro. Like it's so expensive.
It's ridiculous.
You can't even survive unless you're cooking at the house that you stay at with someone else because you don't make enough from 2 jobs to support an apartment.
The Amazon that I'm currently working at now, I'm literally kind of ticked off at the pay because I'm thinking I was gonna be like they promised overtime or saying that after what is the trial period of working temporary, that if we get put onto it as a blue badge, that everything would be even more smooth sailing, that we get as much overtime as we wanted to once the work picks up and all of that.
Well, so they got you on white badge.
You say what?
So you're a white badge right now.
Yeah.
Man, that's that shit. So but you still have like most of the benefits, but they just like have you on a really tight leash, a point system. You have to do all this stuff. So I signed up for part-time flex. So what I do now is my flex schedule is I come in whenever I want, but I have to work 30 hours a week. If I get too many points, I get fired. And it's like, bro, some of the places were, I don't know if it was a rumor, but that's another thing we could talk about is like they were saying they took away the 5-year bonus and the 10-year bonus, and you're like, man, I don't care about that bonus. I don't ever stay there long enough. But I actually, you know me, bro. I'm very calculated. You're like, anybody's gonna get the shares. If anybody's gonna get the 5-year bonus, it's gonna be this guy right here. And you know I did play it. You know I got it. I was waiting. I was itching for that thing. Boy, I said, where's the check? I was waiting. I was calling, bro. I was like, hey.
I remember that.
Yeah, so I got it. I was happy.
I gave up on it after a certain period of time because I was just like, man, I have to worry about getting another check and paying these bills and shit like that. Stuff like that. I can't be worried about just like these stocks, these sharehold, the stuff that I'm actually supposed to be getting from them, because I know that if I still have stock with them from the money that I made with them, like I never got any of that money back. So.
Exactly, you never get the money back. And there's a lot of stuff that happens at these buildings that you don't even really want to talk about, but we're gonna get into it right now. We talk deep about like all the shootings that happened at Jax 2, at the facility that we both worked at, and you went back to for God knows what reason. You kept going back to the north side of a dangerous city, and so there was multiple shootings there. One of which was a shooting that was like also a suicide, right? Murder suicide.
Yep, murder suicide. That was sad, man. That was a very, very sad story.
So what happened exactly? Just try to go over it lightly, not to make it too salacious.
I can't go too deep into the details. What I can say is just that there was it was a couples dispute, I'll say that, which led to a gentleman coming in and killing a pregnant woman, actually coming into the facility, going straight up to her, because they both worked at this
Did they meet there or no?
Actually, no, they got hired on together. They were coming in from outside. They got hired on together and they were working there, and they were having domestic problems that unfortunately led to him coming to the workplace where she was working.
And there was no metal detector to stop him?
I mean, they only have metal detectors for when you're going out, not for when you're coming in.
That's stupid as hell. Just so they could basically make sure no one's stealing.
Mm-hmm. They don't care about if anyone's bringing a gun in. They're only worried about if anyone's leaving out with something.
That's crazy. What? Like, so he went up to her while she was working and pregnant?
Yeah, she was working upstairs actually. Went up to her, tracked her down, because like there were people who were already running, because like at this point he had already pulled the gun out. So there were people.
So he walked into the building, whipped the strap out, and he was about to just like that was it. Like he wasn't even.
He wasn't shooting. He had a specific mission. He was going for her. So it was like everyone else was just running around. He was chasing after her, and he caught her.
She was running?
Yeah, she was running. He caught her as she was making her way to the stairs, actually, and that's where he shot and killed her.
Reviving Scamazon podcast, only on YouTube.